Hey everybody, Chris Matan here, Real Estate Machine Show. Hey, we're going to talk about machine shop traps. And what I'm talking about here is, man, what I see out there. I said I've got a shop, I got a small shop, a couple of guys. We're really kind of gelling. We're really doing some really good things. And I think a lot of that is because we kind of know our lane. And I take a real concerted effort to stay in our lane, do what we do best, and kind of stay in that space. I found myself from time to time trying to veer off, trying to do different things, be this to that person and this to that person, and just try to go outside of maybe what our real sweet spot is, or even some of our capabilities. And I know that there's like this trap out there that, you want to, in order to get in with a customer, maybe you gotta do things that, you gotta get out of your comfort level a little bit. But the last thing you want to do is go outside of your capabilities for the purpose of getting a customer and not being able to deliver. I've seen a lot of shops out there, they're trying to grow this way and that way, and they're taking on this job and they're taking on this quantities and this size and all this stuff. And, you end up chasing your tail, and a lot of times you're just not making any money. And it's really what it's about is, you got to be able to pay the light bill, pay the guys, and maybe take a few bucks home in the end. But it's getting harder and harder and harder. Expectations are higher and higher and higher. But I really do believe that as a machine shop, if you know who you are and you know what your wheelhouse and your sweet spot is, and you really drill down on that. I guess this goes with any business, but if you really drill down on what that sweet spot is and you become a master of it, all of a sudden your hourly rate can skyrocket because you're just so masterfully and efficient. And that's what you need to do. You need to get parts in and parts out. I don't like high, for us, for other shops, other setups, other equipment, people with more, more labor on the shop floor, shops with more guys on the shop floor. Maybe you can get into volume runs. Maybe you get into lights out machining. There's a lot of money to be made in that. I think there's a lot of competition too. We've kind of stayed away from that for a variety of reasons, but I've grown to like. At first, I didn't like it, but I suppose you like something when you know you can get it done. That makes it a lot more enjoyable. And having high level skilled guys that are, listen, I call them my partners down in the shop. They are in fact my partners. We all work together. They are highly skilled. They can run one, two, three pieces very, very quickly, very, very efficiently. And not a lot of shops want to do that. Not a lot of shops can take single piece orders. They've got operators, they've got, quote unquote button pushers, and you need to attract business that's going to keep those guys busy. And I've fallen into that a little bit. I used to have guys in here that maybe weren't the highest skill level, so I would go out and try to find work just to keep them busy. And by doing that, I sacrificed what was probably profitable work. And no more. I don't want to do that anymore. I want to take very specific work, wheelhouse work that I know that we're going to be able to blast through, turn through great quality and quick delivery because our guys can blast through it. And the customers when they, as a purchasing agent out there looking for machine shops or machine shop partners to get parts through, a lot of times you got one part to do or two parts. Not a lot of shops want to do that. Some do, some don't. The price is up there, but the price and the quality and the delivery all kind of work together. And I really try to try to manage that trifecta of requirements that that make a customer happy. And step one is having just exceptional talent on the shop floor. And I'm so blessed to say that Marich Machine has an exceptional roster of machinists that we're working together with that is really delivering not only for our customers, but for the company as a whole. And the collaboration between them all is really enjoyable for me to see. And it becomes an awesome working environment. So look, if there's machinists out there that want to make a change or kind of want to see what's around the corner, is the grass greener, give a shout out, shoot me a quick message. You know where to find me. You can find me anywhere. And I love to have a conversation because the more talent that's on the floor, the more the customer benefits. And then when the customer benefits and is happy, they bring us more work and it becomes the circle. And that's what we're all about. We just want to make parts, make everybody happy, make a little bit of money on the side. And you can see it's winter time. It's cold here. But anyway, hope everybody has a great day. We'll catch up with you real soon on the Real Estate Machine Show.